Right, welcome. It's time for us to talk sport on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momodi, the King of Sport, and I'm well loaded with all the big stories making the rounds from Nigerian Premier Football League to the Euros and boxing, not forgetting other sports like tennis, when Djokovic is back on the training court already 8 days after his knee surgery. These and other big stories is what we'll be unleashing on today's edition of the program Talk Sport. It's the 24th day of June 2024, and we're in with a very big shout. There's a man looking slick in brown, and he'll be doing us the honors of breaking down all the big stories making the rounds with very sound spot-on analysis. He's Odi Samuel waiting in the wings. Odi, how was your weekend?
It was good, and then we started off today again with a very rainy day here in Abuja.
Yeah.
I think we started off with the week with blessing, given the fact that today is a special day in someone's life. So we thank God for that somebody. And yes, so we're ready to talk sports, and congratulations to champions and those that are celebrating one thing or the other on this day of this 24th day of June.
All right, talking sports is our business, and that's what we love doing. Let's begin from champions, Enugu Rangers. Yes, that's so we're looking at MPFL, we're looking at the champions and the losers and the Golden Boot winners, talking about the highest goal scorer. So let's begin from the Flying Antelopes, who Enugu Rangers were crowned champions of the Nigerian Premier Football League for the 8th time in their history on Sunday, and they capped their season with a 2-1 away victory against Gombe United in the New Jos Stadium. The league champions were welcomed into the main bowl of the New Jos Stadium with a guard of honor by their relegated opponent and general manager of Rangers, Amobi Eziako, captained the Flying Antelopes for the second appearance in the league. Fidelis Ilechukwu's men were off to a flying start with 2 goals inside 7 minutes, courtesy of Kazim Ogunleye and Godwin Obaje. Anas Hassan pulled one back for the Savannah Scorpions, but the Flying Antelopes didn't feel the sting, holding on to their lead and winning the title by 5 points. Let's tell you that Rangers had sealed the league title last week and ended the season with 70 amazing points. Crowning the Flying Antelopes, we saw them all throughout the whole season. They kept going, and they never let go of the top spot, despite Eyimba coming back from the continent, Rivers coming back and trying to stage a fight for the title. Do you think the Flying Antelopes deserve the title?
Yeah, they deserve the title because despite, they went short at some points, lost matches, came back on top again, and then when they came back on top, they knew what it's going to take for them to be champions is just to maintain that winning streak and then remain at the top of the league. So that was what they did. They kind of took a page of Manchester City's book, and then they stayed top and then kept going, scoring goals, winning matches, and then finally they got cleared with 5 points. So it was just a walk in the park for them yesterday, but still they decided to end up crown their season with the last win. All
right, what will you say about the other teams that kept pushing them to be stable, talking about Remo Stars, Eyimba, and Shooting Stars, and other teams who kept coming, trying to upstage them at the top of the league table?
Yeah, they all, tried their best to, try to dethrone Enugu Rangers, but it didn't just work out because the Enugu Rangers team were focused and determined on not letting go. So, despite the fact that they put up a very, very good chance, that's talking about Romeo Stars now and Eyimba of Aba, they put up a very good fight, but the fact that they lost and then drew, Eyimba lost one, and then Romeo Stars drew, that was what gave Enugu Rangers more leverage to stay on top, and then they kept winning their matches. So that's one of the things you get, and then it's just so nice that they were able to maintain cool despite the pressure, and then with the good job from their coach, they were able to stay top and then win the trophy.
All right, congratulations to the Flying Antelopes. Talking about Enugu Rangers in the category, they've been doing great things. Let's move on to other big stories. Remo and Eyimba Continental tickets are sure. That's the big story there, with the title already settled before the final day. Second place, Remo Stars, and third place, Eyimba, still found themselves in a must-win situations to seal their place in the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederations Cup respectively next season. In Ikene, Remo took their destiny into their own hands against Casino United, winning 2-1 to seal the second spot and continental ticket for the third time in their history. Meanwhile, the league's top assist provider and newly capped Super Eagles defender Sodiq Ismail waited till the last day of the season to get a goal of his own for Remo's opener before Dayo Ojo doubled the advantage. Meanwhile, former champions Eyimba, however, left it late in Aba as the 87th-minute goal from Chijoke Mbaoma plus another from Alade Balogun in the 88th minute saw them beat Plateau United 2-0, where they held to a goalless draw. The third spot and the CAF Confederations Cup ticket would have gone to Resi, who beat Sporting Lagos 1-0 in Ibadan. All right, let's look at Eyimba, the People's Elephant, and Remo Stars getting much-needed victories for them to pick the continental, tickets for the Champions League and the Confederations Cup. For Eyimba, how important was that victory for them to ensure that they remain in the continent despite having a poor continental show last season?
It's very important for them because they were on top of the Premier League table at some points, and then they drifted away. So I think it's more like a consolation ticket for them getting to the continental. Yes, they didn't perform so well the last time they were represented at the continent. So I feel it's more like a momentum for them and a boost for them to just go back and do better, given the fact that they have a new coach now, and then there are more backs, there are more things that he would want to do, and then he wants to push the team forward. So I think with that now, Enugu Eyimba of Abana would be able to go and then try to come back with a very, very good result, maybe getting far deep into the competition, just like Rivers United did.
All right, for Remo Stars, how important was it that Sodiq Ismail, who got the first invitation to the Super Eagles camp, waited till the last day of the season to score the only goal and his first goal for the season? And for Remo Stars, how important was this victory for them, knowing that now they are in the CAF Champions League? It's
important. I think even if they didn't win the trophy, this Premier League trophy, that means they have something else to celebrate. That's getting to CAF Championship. Then, this is for the players now. It's going to increase and then expose them the more, and then they will play on a higher note, just like what Sodiq Ismail did. He has been with them, but the competition and then the experience he gathered from the Super Eagles, from just his few appearances now, contributed to the goal that he scored. So for Remo Stars now being in the continent, they should be able to go far despite their squad and then the formation which they have now and the style of play which they have. So I feel they should be able to advance further, deeper into the continental championship. All
right, we're still looking at the winners and losers of the MPFL, talking about the 2023-2024 season just gone by, and we're looking at those who have made it top shots. All right, let's focus on those who actually did the goal-scoring act for the new season, and let's look at one man, his name Mbaoma. Yes, Eyimba striker Chijoke Mbaoma can see himself as a 3.4 million naira richer for winning the MPFL Unisal Golden Boot with 17 goals. Each goal is valued by the sponsors at 200,000 naira. Before the final day, he led the goal chart with 16 goals, one more than Remo Stars Sikiru Alimi, and he added one more on Sunday to stay clear of his challenger who failed to score. The bullish striker who looks like Daniel Mokachi, the Bull, started the season slowly, scoring just twice in his first 10 appearances, but he added more as soon as he broke his dog. Meanwhile, Mbaoma succeeded his former Eyimba teammate Emeka Obioma as the winner of the award. Let's look at this guy. He's quite bullish, like Daniel Mokachi, the Bull, scoring 2 goals in his first 10 appearances. Once he scored those goals, he went haywire and started banging in the goals. We had one Sikiru Alimi who was at the point leading the goal scorers chart at 14 goals then, but he suddenly just doubled past Remo Stars Sikiru Alimi. How sad do you think Alimi would be feeling right now, knowing that he was the top marksman before Mbaoma took charge?
Well, yes, I think it's going to be sad for him because he was smelling
the money 3.4 million naira cash.
You know. Now put over.
All right, 3.4 million naira. Now he wants to become a striker.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it just boiled down to who wanted it more, who was more clinical and very, very strategic, and then who can score more
goals.
He had more,
and who was consistent.
And who was consistent. So he was consistent. He didn't miss chances. So I guess that was the reason why he emerged as the winner with, I think, 2 goals difference.
Yeah. All right, let's look at for Sikiru Alimi and Chijioke Mbaoma. What would be the best gift to give to this guy? Yes, he has won the UNICEF Golden Boot, but a call to the Super Eagles. We already have embarrassing number of top strikers who are doing well in Europe. Do you think there's a chance for both players to get a call up to the Super Eagles?
I think they might get a call up to the Super Eagles, but I don't think it's going to be happening now because we have so much strikers already, and then for that to happen, that means we need to drop some players, and then bring fresh players. But another thing again that counts now is the experience of those players, if they can be able to handle such situations. Most of the times where I feel they favor the foreign-based players because they are under lots of pressure to deliver for their club, because if you don't deliver, you get to go back and then probably lose your contract, or you get sent off maybe after your contract is done. But for the local-based players now, I feel there's so much more that they expect them to do before they can get called up. But with results like this, and then this current season, it's one of the toughest seasons of Nigerian Professional Football League that we've experienced. And it's one of the reasons why we saw, I think, 3 call-ups from Finidi George. That means those guys are actually doing so well. So now it's just a call now for Nigeria to just go support the league and then watch, and then with all of this now, it's going to help the team get more competitive, and people will be struggling to get caught up to the Super Eagles.
All right, we're still looking at the winners and losers for the 2023-2024 MPFL season. Let's from the Golden Boot winner, who is Chijioke Mbaoma of Enyimba with 17 goals. Let's go to the best goalkeeper of the season. Yes, he's named. He has this award, Safe Hands, and Obasoge. Yes, coming from Edo State. That's the man with the safe hands. Someone who's going to give Stanley Nwabali a run for his money. Let's tell you that despite Bender Insurance's unimpressive performance this season, their goalkeeper, Amans Obasoge, was head and shoulder above other goalkeepers in the league with 18 clean sheets. He had 3 more than Kayode Bankole of Remo Stars and Kingdom Osahi of Doma United, who both had 15 clean sheets. Our title challengers last season with an unprecedented 21-game unbeaten record in the league. The Bender Arsenal finished the 2023-2024 season in 9th position with 53 points. Meanwhile, former champions Bayelsa United, Akwa United survived relegation on the final day. Meanwhile, winners in 2009, Bayelsa United, and defeated Bender Insurance 2-0 in Benin City to move up 15th in the table with 50 points. 2021 champions Akwa United also recorded a 3-1 win over Rivers United at home to end their season with 49 points in 16th position. For all their woes throughout the season, both teams earned the right to be called winners by retaining their MPFL status on the final day. And let's look at the goalkeeper there in the person of Obasoge. How important 18 clean sheets in a season, that must be fantastic.
Yeah, it must be fantastic. It shows as if he was the only one doing the work for the
Bender
whole
Insurance.
for Bender Insurance, because for a goalkeeper to have 18 clean sheets in how competitive this season was, that means he was actually doing
saving the
team so much. So it's amazing that he was able to do that. And again, like you rightly said, he will be giving the likes of Stanley Nwabali a run for their money if the next coach comes down, and then he's also the kind of coach that likes young players and people from the home base side. I think he would give Stanley Nwabali and other goalkeepers to run for their money in the Super Eagles. So congratulations to him for his win. And I like the tag, the award name, Save Hands.
All right, let's look at, we must give credit to goalkeeping department in the Nigerian League. We've got Kayode Bankole of Remo Stars, who had 15 clean sheets. We have Kingdom Osayi of Doma United, also had 15 clean sheets, while Obasoge had 18 clean sheets. What does that tell us in terms of our future when it comes to the goalkeeping department for the Super Eagles, where there's a guarantee that after Stanley Nwabali's reign, we're likely to get great successors, unlike the time when one Vincent Eyama left. We found it, we got Victor Ozoho, who never got the job done, Maduko Koye, who never really got the job done. So should we be confident that when it comes to the goalkeeping department for the next 5 years, Super Eagles in between the stakes is going to be someone amazing?
Yes, in between the stakes it should be someone amazing, because that's if they are looking to get from these results that we are seeing, these goalkeepers that we are seeing, and then the normal politics in football won't happen. If they are looking to get from this result that we are seeing, that's goalkeepers that are having like 18 clean sheets, 15
like
clean
Kingdom Osayi
and
of Doma United, then also Bankole of Remo.
So if you are picking goalkeepers like this with this track record, then we shouldn't be worried in the next 5 years, because Stanley Nwabali soon in the coming years,
they get better
as they grow older, just like Buffon and Van der Sar and Peter Cech, those likes. They were getting better and better as they grow older. So since that will be happening, I'm sure we are hoping that Stanley Nwabali will be getting better. The goalkeeper from Doma United and Bendel Insurance, they'll also get better, and then probably get mentorship if they get to be called upon
to the national
team where Stanley Nwabali is there, gets mentorship, and then having a coach now in the goalkeeping section as Vincent Nyama, I think it's going to help well, and then we wouldn't have so much trouble in our goalkeeping line for the Super Eagles coming in the next 5 years.
All right, so this is a warning to Stanley Nwabali and also Leke, who are currently with the Super Eagles setup, that we've got 3 young men waiting in the wings to take your shirt. We've got Kayode Bankole of Remo Stars, who had 15 clean sheets this last season past. We've got Kingdom Osayi of Doma United, who had 15 clean sheets, and the man who is the man of the moment, Amas Obasoge, who is the goalkeeper of the season with 18 clean sheets, waiting for the Super Eagles call-up and waiting to become Nigeria's #1 goalkeeper. All right, let's move on. We're still looking at the winners and losers for this season. Let's look at the losers now. Losers from the back door. We've got Sporting Lagos back to the NNL. Just one season in the MPFL, Sporting Lagos are back in the Nigerian National League, the second tier. They were doomed for relegation after a 1-0 defeat against 3SC in Ibadan. They needed a win against the Oluyole Warriors to ensure that their safety, but that would not have been enough considering other results which saw Bayelsa United and Akwa United record wins. The Lagos club started the season under manager Paul Ofo, but he was sacked with 8 games remaining in the league while they were 13th in the table. Sacking of Ofo didn't prove right eventually, as coach Abdullahi Bifo could not ensure their safety, losing 4, drawing 2 and winning only 2 of their final matches, leaving them 17th in the log table with 46 points. Let's look at that. We talked about the sack of Paul Ofo at a point. Now they brought in an experienced coach in person of Abdullahi before, but he couldn't save them. Do you think if they had left Paul Ofo, probably the fortunes would have been different, because these are players he brought from the NNL back to? So probably they would have got that instinct to remain put. And was that a very bad call?
We actually, on this same show, I actually called a bad call, because I felt why I called a bad call was because he brought these players out of the NNL down
to the top flight,
into the top flight. So now it's supposed to be him, despite the fact that they are just getting to find their feet in the competition, because it's totally different from what they are used to in the NNL. So they were not on their way down totally, but the moment that sack happened, I think the team spirit went down and everybody was just being careful. Because if the coach was still there, let's look at what happened between Eric Ten Hag and Manchester United. At some point, they just stopped playing for themselves. They were also playing for the coach.
Yeah.
So that was
especially the FA Cup final.
Yes, especially the FA Cup final. I felt the same thing would have happened if that sack didn't happen. The players would have not just played for them to remain in the professional league. They would have played also for the coach himself to have his job. So all of those things now matters, because at this point now they brought someone else who is more experienced. You can't just come and then just feel out of nowhere you're going to perform a magic and then you just win. It's a process. So they were going through the process, but the management of the team were just impatient and didn't just want that to happen.
All right. So sorry for Sporting Lagos. See you next time. That's if you succeed in coming out from the NNL. All right. Let's go to another team that got doomed, but this team did a lot of good in the beginning of the season. Doma United, from finishing the first half of the season in the third place to being the team with the longest streak of matches without conceding a goal this season. 9 matches. Doma United unfortunately find themselves back in the second tier. They ended the campaign with a 1-1 draw against the Abia Warriors and winless in their last 5 matches. Their fortunes began to dwindle in January, losing 12 matches plus 7 draws and just 3 wins in their 2 seasons in the MPFL. Savannah Scorpions and their fans in Gombe will relish their first campaign. They were there, almost made the MPFL Super 6 playoff. The other relegated teams are Heartland of Owerri and Gombe United. We also have the fact that the 5-time Nigerian champions Shooting Stars would have been among the winners of the season, but agonizingly missing out of the continental ticket on the final day as bad losing. Let's look at, for those losers, Doma United in January lost 12 games. Shouldn't they have sacked the coach at that point when you lose 5 matches, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12?
You see, I made mention of the politics in football earlier, so I think that was what contributed, because I don't see how a coach would lose 10 like 12 matches, 11, 12, and you're still there doing what? Is it your house? You were just, they needed, that was when the sack was supposed to happen, but it didn't happen, and then they now suffered a diverse president then going back. So all of these things now, I feel the team management had a role to play, because
you think the coach lost the dressing room?
Yeah, that was
when he started losing up to 10 matches.
That was said too, because we always mention about the fact that the relationship coaches and players are very, very key for both parties, for the team, for just everybody. Is very important, because at the end of the day, it's just the coach that would that would lose his job. That is, if the management decide to take it up. But now they've lost 12 matches. Now they are back. They are just so relegation zone, and then there's no how. They'll just have to start struggling all over again from next season. After all, they must have come from the trauma of the accidents that they had. Then they'll start struggling to get the house together again and see if they'll get back to winning ways. But for me, if I was part of the management, I would push for the coach to be sacked. So no matter what is happening, it's not allowed. 12 streets, not like you played football, professionally 12 times in a row and you lost 12 times. How about?
All right, very sad commentary for a team that didn't concede for 9 straight matches to lose 12 games, plus 7 draws and just 3 wins. It shows something was amiss. And for Gombe United, it's goodbye. For looking at 3SC, Shooting, let's look at 5-time African champions, but somehow couldn't get. They came back too late. Points, 4th position, just a point just behind Eyimba. They would have qualified for the continent.
We made mention of the fact, at some point they were even above Eyimba, but now the competition I think they lost 2 straight matches. I think they lost 1 and then played 1 draw. I think they played draw at home and then lost away. I think that was when Eyimba now won their next match and then got ahead of them. That was what happened. But aside that, I think they kind of fought back to get that. But given the fact that they've been there before, I felt their experience now was supposed to count. But like we said earlier, the competition is getting really, really intense, and nobody wants to give away any position that easily. You have to fight for it. So I'm guessing that was why, they were not able to clinch the win and then qualify. But given the fact that they are experienced and they've been there before, let's watch out for next season. They might fight back and then get back to the continental competition.
All right, we're done with the MPFL 2023-2024 season. The winners, losers, those who were almost there for Mbaoma, Chijioke Mbaoma, top goal scorer, 17 goals, and kudos to him. We've got the safe hands of Ogi, who is the safe hands for the Rangers, no doubt, crowned champions. Remo Stars and AIM by getting continental tickets for the Champions League and the CAF Confederations Cup. Bad losers, we've got Doma United, who got relegated, Gombe United, Heartland of Owerri, they all got relegated, very sad commentary. But let's move on. Let's talk about female football. Let's talk about the Flamingos. Yes, the Flamingos are in the news this morning. Let's say that Nigeria's women's under 17 national team, the Flamingos, have been drawn in Group A for the 2024 FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup. The draw took place in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, on Sunday. That's at Nigerian time. The Flamingos will face host nation Dominican Republic, Ecuador, and New Zealand in Group A. This will mark the third time in recent that a Nigerian team will be grouped with the host, with the Falcons grouped in Australia at the 2023 Women's World Cup, and the Super Eagles alongside Ivory Coast at the 2023 African Cup of Nations. The Flamingos will kick off their campaign against New Zealand on Wednesday, October 16, followed by a match against Ecuador on Saturday, October 19, and will conclude the group stage with a game against the Dominican Republic on Tuesday, October 22nd, led by Bankole. Nigeria aims to build on their impressive performance in the previous edition of the tournament, where they finished third in India. The draws were hosted at the Frei Anton, the Montenos Monument, and featured 16 teams, marking the last 16-team edition before expanding to 24 teams in 2025. The draw was presented by journalist and football commentator Avelino Quadra and hosted by FIFA Director of Tournament Jami Yaza. They were assisted by Dominican athlete Teresa Herrera and Canadian-born Mexican player Tatiana Flores. Herrera is the first woman from the Dominican Republic to climb Mount Everest, and Flores represented Mexico at the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup in India in 2022. This tournament marks the Dominican Republic's debut in FIFA women's competition, reflecting the growing football scene in the country. They participated in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup last year, and the men's Olympic squad is set to compete in Paris 2024. The other groups for the tournament are include Group B with Spain, the USA, Korea Republic, and Colombia. Group C has Korea, DPR, Mexico, Kenya, and England, while Group D features Japan, Poland, Brazil, and Zambia. Ecuador, Kenya, and Poland are making their tournament debut this year. Tickets for the tournament, which will take place between October 16 and November 3rd, will go on sale on August 27. All right, let's look at the Falcons. In a very interesting group against New Zealand first on Wednesday. Looking at the teams they are facing, New Zealand, Ecuador, then we've got the host country. What do you think are the chances of the Flamingos?
With their current record and the way they are playing and how they even fought to even get to qualify for this, I'm at peace in a way, because the female football league now, the female football teams that are in Nigeria are actually doing amazingly well. They are playing well and then winning games, not just winning games, but winning it with peace, with ease, and scoring lots of goals. So I'm confident that with this team, New Zealand, Dominican Republic, they would be able to scale through. I see them coming out second from the group.
All right, we wish the Flamingos the very best as they get set for the World Cup in Dominican Republic, and the fact that they came out in the last edition shows they've got what it takes to, if possible, even win the tournament. We'll go for a very quick break. When we from the break, Talk Sport continues. Stay with us. All right, welcome back from the break. We're still talking sport on Global Television, away from the Flamingos, who will be looking to make something happen at the Dominican Republic, talking about the FIFA Under-17 World Cup proper. Let's move on to national trials. Brunei is in the news this morning. Let's talk about Brunei as the Tokyo 2022 Olympics bronze medalist Ese Brunei has reclaimed her African women's long jump title, as well as her fourth after topping the chart at the ongoing 2024 African Senior Athletics Championship in Cameroon on Sunday. Brunei came from second place and landed a massive 6.73 meters in her last attempt to nick the title, ahead of Burkina Faso's Marta Koala, who was leading with 6.72 meters after 5 attempts. The 28-year-old had won the title in 2014 Marrakesh, Morocco, and 2016 Durban, South Africa, and on home soil Asaba in Delta State, Nigeria in 2018. Though her win was shy of 6.86 meters 2024 Olympics qualification standard, Brunei still has a ticket to Paris by ranking. Nigeria's Pristina Ochonogo was also in action and finished fourth with a jump of 6.28 meters. In the women's high jump final, Nigeria's Temitope Adesina also won silver. The Nigerian record holder cleared a height of 1.84 meters to finish second behind Ghana's Rose Yeboah, who won the gold medal with a best effort of 1.87 meters. It's the second time Yeboah has beaten Adesina to gold after edging her to the NCAA championship recently. Similarly, Samuel Ogazi also won bronze in the men's 400 meters in 45 minutes 47 seconds. He finished third in the race won by Diana Touruf of Senegal in 45 minutes 23 seconds, while the EP of Botswana was second in 45 minutes 39 seconds. New national champion Dubem Amene was also in action and finished seventh in 46 minutes 27 seconds. Nigeria's new women's 400 meters champion Esther Joseph also won bronze in a time of 51 minutes 94 seconds, while South Africa's Merinda Kouazi ran a gutsy race, taking the reins of the race early on to strike gold in 51 minutes 16 seconds, ahead of Quincy Malikani of Zambia, who got a silver in 51 minutes 56 seconds. All right, let's look at what's playing out. Ese Brunei still leading Africa, and with that win, reclaimed her African women's, jump.
Yeah, that's amazing. She's just Ese Brunei has been superb since January, since this year, all African Games. The athletes in Nigeria have all been amazing, setting records, beating the old one and then setting new ones. And the funny thing is that they kept setting the record and then beating it themselves and setting new ones. So it just shows how prepared and how much work these athletes are putting in. And then it's just amazing what they keep doing. And this result, it just shows this just pure hard work and how much they want to go far and then represent the country and be great and legends in their fields.
Let's look at the fact that she beat Burkina Faso Marta Koala by just 1 meter. She had 6.73 meters, while Koala of Burkina Faso had 6.72 meters. What does this tell us in terms of the competition when it comes to the African continent?
It's getting very competitive. Before, when it gets to these continental stages, when Africans get to travel to Paris, US, Mexico, wherever to go compete, it's almost like a walk in the park, because those from other European countries and US, they just tend to sweep African teams like that. But now they're all standing up and then getting competitive among themselves, because they know the competition outside there, it's higher than what they are used to. So for them to be competing like this, it shows that the federation of athletes and then athletes like this and special sports like this are actually doing so much more. They are doing well, and then they just need to provide more modern equipment for them to be able to use and perform and train so well. So this is what we get, because the competition out there is tougher. That means it's getting tighter down here in Africa as well.
All right, let's move on to the world of boxing, as WBC Intercontinental Champion Oluwafemi, the Nigerian Nightmare Oyeleye, secured a KO, that's knockout win, as he returned to the ring on Saturday against a Spanish boxer Leonardo Di Stefano in the super welterweight class at the 2300 arena in the US. The Nigerian born boxer delivered a stunning performance and knocking out Di Stefano with a sharp hook in the fourth round. This victory improves Oyeleye's record to an impressive 16 wins without any loss, with 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He also handed his opponent his fourth loss of 16 and his third KO defeat. Di Stefano also came into the bout with a lot of confidence, as he is a knockout specialist with 12 of his 13 victories coming by way of a knockout. Oyeleye, known for his powerful punches and strategic prowess, demonstrated his dominance in the ring once again, solidifying his reputation as a formidable force in the super welterweight division. This latest victory continues to build momentum for Oyeleye's career, as he remains undefeated and the top contender in the weight class. Let's look at this victory by the Nigerian boxer, beating Di Stefano, who also had gotten 12 knockouts in 13 fights. What does this tell us as regards the likely future of Oyeleye's boxing career, though we know he's in the super welterweight category?
Yeah, he's just going to keep getting better and then keep improving, and then probably get bigger than his welterweight, and then maybe get into the featherweight or middleweight. So he's amazing that the future of Nigerian boxing, it's in good hands, because they are all identifying as Nigerians now, and then still representing Nigeria, and while fighting their professional fight as well. So it seems very good, because at this point now he's just going to keep getting better, 16-0, and then beating someone who has 12-0. So that shows that he is very, very good, and then
Nigerian Nightmare,
and then with a very technical nickname as well. So Nigerian Nightmare, just like Usman Kamaru, who also bears Nigerian Nightmare in the UFC. So for him now, I think he's going to get better, and then he's gone in, from what I'm seeing with all this performance, we see he's gone in to go get the #1 spot and then be the champion, get the belt. I guess that's the next fight he'll be going for. So the likes of Anthony Joshua and Israel Adesanya and Kamaru Usman are not just going to fade away. We have more persons who would also have at that top class, and then we'll still be talking about them when these other great guys are done and retired.
All right, from boxing, let's go to the world of table tennis, where former world #1 and last year's silver medalist Dmitry Ocharov has won the men's singles title at the second edition of the WTT Contender Lagos, while India's Serja Akula also claimed the women's title at the Molade Okoya's Thompson Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos on Sunday. Ocharov beat his compatriot Ricardo Wata 4-1, 11-7, 11-7, 7-11, 12-10, 11-16, while Akula also recorded a 5-set win 4-1, 10-12, 11-9, 11-9, 11-8, and 11-6 in the final. The final was attended by the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Ocharov was making his second trip to Nigeria after failing to clinch the men's singles title at the maiden edition of the series in 2023. But the 36-year-old was able to right the wrong in the second attempt with a dominant win. Ocharov was Lagos fans' favorite in 2023, and he had sent several table tennis equipment to young players across the country as a result of the massive support he got in the maiden visit. The former world #1 had won a total of 2 silver and 4 bronze medals at the Olympics since he debuted in Beijing 2008 in China, making him one of the most deep-corrected male Olympians in table tennis category and in terms of the number of medals awarded. India's heavy representation also saw them win the men's double, where they beat Nigeria, and women's doubles. All right, Lagos Contender finally comes to a close, and this should be positive for table tennis players, even though aside Quadri Aruna, Nigerian players didn't get to the finals or win the medals this time around.
Yeah, it's good. At least it's coming down to Nigeria, and then this opens more room for more collaboration with other, professional athletes and then professional sporting bodies to come down and then, sponsor sporting activities in Nigeria. So it's just wonderful, though we were not able, most of the professionals, they were not able to get to the finals and clinch medals, but it's amazing that it's a win still for Nigeria, hosting a magnitude of an event like this. So it's a win. It tells more that the table tennis federation association in Nigeria here, they are doing well, and then it's just opening more room for other sporting activities to come and happen. Like now we have NBA Africa already, so soon they are coming down. Hopefully soon they'll be coming down to Nigeria and to be hosting the BAO African basketball competition.
All right, congratulations to Otta Charov, who became the winner of the Lagos Contender World Table Tennis Tourney in Lagos. Let's move to the round later game. We call it football, the king of sport. Let's go to the transfer news where Atletico Madrid striker Samu Omorodion is one Chelsea target who does not look like he will be moving to the Stamford Bridge this summer, as he has been revealed that he is not keen on the move. Chelsea are struggling to sign players they have shown interest in, aside from the signing of Tosin Adarabioyo from Fulham. They have missed out on Crystal Palace's Michael Olish, who is now close to a Bayern switch. However, the winger is not the only player Chelsea are going to lose out on this summer, as well as out wide. Chelsea have been trying to strengthen up front. It is to be expected, with the Blues finishing last season with Nicholas Jackson as their only recognized striker. Chelsea were believed to be extremely keen on Atletico Madrid or Omorodion, but their interest in him now seems to have cooled. According to journalist Simon Phillips, the club are no longer pursuing the 20-year-old, while he was not eager to move to Stamford Bridge anyways. All right, apart from that, we also know that the Stamford Bridge, another journalist, Gianluca Di Marzio, claimed that Atletico valued the Omorodion at 80 million euros. The Athletic also reported that the Blues have yet held talks with the representatives of Leeds Jonathan David. At 24, he is way more experienced than the Atletico youngster and has a much better track record. Last season, David scored 26 goals in 47 appearances for Lille, while Omorodion managed 8 in 35 games he played during his loan spell at Alaves. For Chelsea, do you think this is a better decision to go for Jonathan David, who scored seemed to have 26 goals in 47 appearances, more experience than Omorodion, who is just starting up?
Yeah, I think it's good that they are going for experience and for someone with higher records. I feel Omorodion is not just ready to leave. Maybe he feels he cannot handle the pressure when he gets to Chelsea, because maybe he feels he has much work he needs to do on himself, and with the current state of Chelsea, Chelsea don't need someone that will just come and learn on the job. No, they need someone who will come and deliver. So I think them being cold now is just because they've seen someone who is a better prospect, who his results, his track record have shown that okay, he's better than this person experience-wise, and all of those count. So I think it's a good move for Chelsea, and it's also a good move by Omorodion, because he knows that he's not totally ready to just go handle situations or big stages like that. So it's a very good approach for him to just lean back, work on himself. Probably in the next coming years, if he gets super good and then still wants to play for Chelsea and Chelsea wants him, he might come to Chelsea.
All right, let's see what's going to pan out. Let's take you to Euros. Euros are still on. Yesterday there were a lot of matches, but let's take this match. So good news the match between Hungary and Scotland is what we're looking at, as Barnabas Varga is stable in hospital after reportedly breaking several bones in his face after a sickening head clash during Hungary's Euro 2024 match against Scotland. Hungary manager Marco Rossi revealed after their crucial 1-0 win over Scotland that Varga is expected to undergo surgery on a fractured cheekbone he sustained in the incident. The Group A match was stopped for around 7 minutes after the Hungary's forward was knocked to the ground following a collision with Scotland's goalkeeper Angus Gunn in the 67th minute. Vagan Gunn had both a challenge for the ball with a free kick in the penalty area, with the Scotland goalkeeper elbow appearing to connect with the forward's head. There was immediate concern on the pitch with the Hungarian team, with Varga's teammate rushing over to assist the striker, who was lying prone on the floor. Both teams quickly realized Varga needed medical attention and began waving medical professionals onto the field, who appeared to put Varga into the recovery position. Sheets were placed around Varga as he was treated before the 29-year-old was stretched of the pitch. The Hungarian Football Federation issued an update after the Nations League 0 win over Scotland to confirm Vega is stable. This just tells us how competitive this is, and thank God Hungary did win the game eventually.
For consolation. I don't know, most of the injuries from Euros now has just been face, head. So I think they should, it's very competitive, but they should also be very careful, you know, elbows flying up and down and, you know, getting collided. We just hope and pray he gets well soon, and there might be a chance that he's out of the remaining competition.
All right, we wish Vega the very best as he recovers. All right, we've got Alan Shearer and Moyes this morning. Shearer, Moyes is who we're talking about right now. Let's say that Alan Shearer believes Scotland were denied a Stonewall penalty before their hopes of qualifying for the knockout stages of the Euro 2024 were crushed in the dying seconds by Hungary. Let's say that Kevin Kozlov breakaway goal with virtually the last kick of the match saw Hungary win 1-0 and finish third in Group A with 3 points, while the Scots were eliminated. Scotland wait to reach the knockout phase of either the Euros or World Cup goes on. But things might be different if the controversial decision had gone their way in the 79 minutes. There were huge appeals went up for penalty after Sot Armstrong went down in the box under the challenge from behind from Willie Orban. The referee waved play on, but replay showed the Hungarian defender made plenty of contact with the Southampton man. We've seen lots of very funny calls, but this was the essence of the
VAR.
Yeah. Don't you think it's deliberate when referees refuse blatantly not to want to go back to the monitor, and those are the VAR monitoring also not doing well enough to insist that the referee goes back to look at some infringement that might have changed the course of the game?
True, that might have changed the course of the game, because for me, from my own angle, I saw that as a clear penalty. But I was surprised that the referee didn't go to check out the monitor, or probably the VAR, those in the VAR didn't call him, or they just waved play on. So I think this aspect of the VAR, those in the VAR and the referees now need to be investigated. Now we don't know if the guys now from the VAR room call the ref and say go check, and then the ref refuses to go and check, because now nobody gets to hear their conversation. So we don't know where the problem is coming from generally, but from replays that we saw, they kept playing the replay because I think the cameraman, those in the camera room felt that there was something wrong. So that's why the replay came often and often, but still the referee didn't do nothing. We don't know if those in the VAR room did something. They spoke to them, so we don't know. But I think this is an angle, for the next season that will be coming. A whole lot of teams will brace up, and then they'll want to, make some impact. So I feel this angle that needs to be looked into by FIFA.
All right, that's one of the reasons where the PGMOL, talking about the Referees Association, had met with the Football UEFA and other groups to discuss the possibility of fans, the commentators, being able to hear the call or the conversation in the room, and referees who is putting our game in disrepute, if it's the referees not going to make the right call, or if it's the VAR not prompting the referee at the right time. So this further pushes the debate for fans in the stadium and everyone, commentators, to hear the audio conversation between the VAR and the referee. All right, let's give you one more story before we call it a wrap. Yes, let's talk about the host nation, where Folk Rog rescues top spot in Group A for Germany with a 1-1 draw with Switzerland. Yes, the trains are no longer to be relied upon in Germany. It has been a most surprising element of Euro 2024 for anybody who backs in the smooth operations of the World Cup 18 years ago, and it has ruined a well-worn national stereotype. For 90 minutes in Frankfurt, Julian Nagelsmann seemed such as a reassuring model of efficiency through their first two games were on the blink as well, throwing to Switzerland seconds from defeat and ceding top spot in Group A to their neutral Alpine neighbors until Niklas Füllkrug rode to the rescue. Fokro is the man Germany have come to rely on, and he delivered again, this time in the second minute of stoppage time, with his head on to the end of a splendid cross, whipped in from the left by David Raum. That game, technically, there was just almost the last minute, the last play before the game ended. Does that tell us that Germany is vulnerable, and there's no guarantee Germany might win the tournament, even though they're on the home front?
Last week we said most of these big countries per se would need to get really tested. When they play, that's when we would know, okay, who will actually get to win. It was actually, for me, yesterday, I actually said the game was going to end up in a draw, because I know what.
Did you put your money where your mouth was?
No, I didn't do that. I just told someone that wanted to do that. So I told him, like, okay, go this way. So he decided, and that was the only game he played, and then it went well for him. So so the thing now, it boils down to these guys, being competitive very much. So I guess they should just do better more, and then for the German side, it's just going to get tougher and tougher as the competition continues.
All right, so that's how we're going to be coming to a wrap on today's edition of the program I Talk Sport on Global Television. My name is Anthony Momo, the King of Sport. I want to say a big thank you to Samuel Odi. Always a pleasure having my partner in sport do the honors of giving us a sound analysis of all the big stories we looked at on today's edition of the program Talk Sport. Let's do this again tomorrow. Good morning.
Good morning.